and welcome to a brand new episode of TV Talk, the Rapid Recap. Today we're going to be getting you caught up on all of Game of Thrones. So today, Anna is our special guest, and she is going to help us recap all of what happened in the 6 seasons of Game of Thrones. And we're going to give her 8 minutes to do that because there's a lot of plot in Game of Thrones. So Anna, are you ready?
I can certainly try.
Okay, your time begins now.
Season 1 starts with this focus on the Stark family, following them as Ned and Catelyn, the parents, divide between their northern home of Winterfell, where Catelyn stays with Robb, their eldest son, and his younger brothers Bran and Rickon. And Ned goes south to the capital of King's Landing with his 2 daughters, Sansa and Arya, as Sansa is to be betrothed to the future king of Westeros, Joffrey Baratheon, and Ned is to become the hand of the king, or his top advisor. Bran is crippled in the first episode after being pushed from a tower upon seeing Cersei Lannister, Joffrey's mother and the Queen of Westeros, and her twin brother Jaime having sex. Ned soon after discovers the incest after an inquest into the death of his friend, the former hand of the king, Jon Arryn, and that all of Cersei's children are not King Robert Baratheon's, but rather Jaime Lannister's. The discovery ends in his execution after Robert Baratheon's death, and Sansa is forced to stay in King's Landing with the now psychotic Joffrey as her betrothed, while her little sister Arya escapes disguised as a farm boy. Meanwhile, the Stark's ward, Jon Snow, has become a brother of the Night's Watch, which is a group of men who guard the kingdom of Westeros in the north from wildlings or uncivilized folk. We are also introduced to Daenerys Targaryen, whose family once ruled Westeros, but now is the wife of a tribe leader outside of Westeros, another contender for the Iron Throne. In Season 2, Robb Stark decides to fight for independence for his northern people from the rule of the southern king Joffrey, while Joffrey deals with claims of power from his uncles Stannis and Renly Baratheon. Renly is killed by a demon of Stannis and a witch's creation, which widows his wife, Margaery Tyrell, and forcing her family to be more effective in their quest for power. Meanwhile, Daenerys has hatched 3 dragons, once thought to be extinct, and decides to pursue the Iron Throne now that her husband is dead. We also meet Tyrion Lannister, the most clever character in the series, who acts as the head advisor to Joffrey and whose political instincts cannot be beat. Season 3 finds Westeros in civil war, with Joffrey having aligned with the Tyrells, the daughter of who was formerly married to Renly, and her brother having formerly been Renly's lover. The Lannisters have defeated Stannis in battle, and Robb Stark continues to fight for northern independence until he and his mother Catelyn are assassinated by House Frey after breaking a marriage pact with them. Theon Greyjoy, a ward of the Starks whose Ironborn family wants him to take control of the north, then seizes Winterfell violently by showing the charred bodies of 2 young boys, claiming they are Rickon and Bran, however they turn out to be 2 farm boys. Arya, Bran, and Rickon are now homeless runaways, Arya searching for Catelyn and Robb, and Bran searching for his brother Jon Snow at the Wall. Daenerys moves to create an army to take over Westeros, but first frees an entire city of slaves after disagreeing with the injustice. Jon Snow, meanwhile, infiltrates a wildling army as White Walkers, or icy zombies, are making their way towards the Wall to kill all of Westeros. In Season 4, Tywin Lannister becomes Hand of the King and gives House Bolton and House Frey some land in exchange for their service to House Lannister. Ramsay Snow, the bastard son of Lord Bolton, spends a great deal of the season torturing Theon Greyjoy, who he captured after seizing Winterfell. Joffrey and Margaery's engagement is finalized, freeing Sansa from the tight clutches of the Lannisters, but putting her in a difficult position in King's Landing court. Sansa is then forced into a marriage with Tyrion Lannister, the little person a far cry from the knight or lord she always planned to marry. Joffrey is soon after poisoned at his own wedding to Margaery Tyrell, and Sansa flees King's Landing to go to the Vale, leaving her new husband Tyrion to take the blame. Peter Baelish, one of Catelyn Stark's childhood friends, goes to the Vale in an attempt to secure a marriage with Jon Arryn's widow to take control of her kingdom. House Martell of the Southern Kingdom Dorne comes into play this season after Oberyn Martell secures the council seat that Peter Baelish has vacated. The Martells despise the Lannisters because Sir Gregor Clegane, a brutish knight who has for the most part been holding Arya Stark hostage over the past couple seasons, raped and killed their sister Ella. Daenerys continues to free slave cities and leads an incredibly sized army of 8,000 unsullied warriors, notorious for being the best soldiers in the world. The wildlings plan to attack the Wall, and Jon Snow is now back in the Night's Watch dealing with the impending attack. Season 5 begins in the aftermath of Tywin's death, Tyrion having shot him when he was on the toilet after catching Tywin with Tyrion's lover Shae. Tommen Baratheon has taken the throne, Joffrey's younger and kinder brother, and is subsequently betrothed to Margaery. Cersei is now the head of House Lannister, as Tyrion is imprisoned for the alleged murder of Joffrey, and Cersei becomes the Queen Regent until Tommen is of age to rule. Tyrion then escapes and heads to Braavos, where he meets up with Daenerys Targaryen and offers his assistance in her quest for the throne. The realm is in trouble as winter is finally upon them and the kingdom lacks all proper supplies for the impending winter after the civil war that's torn them apart for the past years. In this season, it is revealed Peter Baelish is in fact the one who started the whole conflict, after murdering Jon Arryn, facilitating the murder of Ned Stark, and assisting in the murder of Joffrey Baratheon. He then kills Lady Arryn days after marrying her, and now has control over the Vale, and has the object of his affection, Sansa, by his side, until he weds her to Ramsay Bolton for an alliance. Oberyn Martell has been murdered by a Lannister knight, and the Martells kill the Lannister daughter under the guise of betrothal in revenge. Stannis Baratheon assists the men of the Night's Watch in defending the wall against wildlings in an attempt to win some northern loyalty, and then battles the Boltons at Winterfell. Stannis is defeated, being killed by the best knight ever, Brienne of Tarth, but Theon Greyjoy and Sansa escape, Theon having been Ramsay's slave and Sansa having been his wife. Arya has become an apprentice to the Faceless Men, a group of assassins who can disguise themselves as anyone. Daenerys' dragons have to be chained up because they keep causing harm and destruction that she cannot condone. Jon Snow is killed by his own men in a tragic mutiny after Jon forms an alliance with the Wildlings. King's Landing has been overtaken by a religious revolution that imprisons the Tyrells and Cersei for their sins of homosexuality and incest, and the season ends in a climactic scene of Cersei doing a literal walk of shame through the streets of King's Landing in order to get back to her throne. Season 6 is the most exciting yet. The Lannisters are a sham of the family they once were, and Cersei stands trial for incest and killing Robert Baratheon. Margaery has become the face of piousness, and she becomes Queen of Westeros following her marriage to Tommen. Jon Snow comes back to life with the help of Stannis' in-house witch, and battles against the Boltons in the penultimate episode of the seasons with help from Sansa, Peter Baelish, and the Knights of the Vale. Ramsay Bolton is subsequently killed, and the Starks regain control of Winterfell. Daenerys uses her dragons to defeat more slavers, and makes a pact with Yara Greyjoy to support the Greyjoy kingdom if they cease raping and raping. The Greyjoys sail off with Daenerys, the Dothraki, the Unsullied, and countless others across the narrow sea to Westeros, where she plans to take control of the Iron Throne. Arya escapes Braavos, vowing to go back to Winterfell, and kills Walder Frey on her way there in the name of her brother Robb and her mother Catelyn. Bran has, at this point, gained the ability to see into the past, and discovers that Jon Snow is not the result of his father's affair, as his father claimed, but rather the son of his sister Lyanna and a mystery man that we are only given the initials to, R plus L equals J. Cersei finds a stock of wildfire, an incredibly explosive chemical weapon, and plants them in the Great Sept, where the rest of court, including Margaery and her brother, are awaiting for Cersei to show up for her trial. The wildfire explodes, killing everyone in the Great Sept, and Tommen immediately kills himself upon seeing this, leaving Cersei the only legitimate Lannister left.
Wow. You did that in 7 minutes and 23 seconds. That is so impressive. I have not watched all of Game of Thrones. That's a whole lot of plot. I don't know how people keep up with that.
Me neither.
Great job, Anna. Hopefully this has helped you all as you all get ready for Season 7 coming out this April. Thanks so much for being here and doing this.
Thanks so much for having me.
This was great. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on all of our social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and check out our website. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.